Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat and today I am not doing what I said I was going to do today. So in yesterday's stream I said that today was going to be the day that a day that I play the vanilla playthrough, but I have decided that I want to play Pyanodon today. So I'm going to play Pyanodon today. As the cat leaves me. He's leaving me. He's running away because I've started talking and now he can't sit there and sleep. At least I assume that's why he leaves when I start streaming. He's like, really? I sit here because you're quiet and it's comfy and I want to be near you. But then you start talking, and not to me, and I can't sleep anymore. Anyway, today I actually have a map string of settings that I want to play with a specific map seed. Now I will go ahead and do the preview for this. So we have Pyanodons mods going at the moment. There's also RSO, so we will not be seeing the resources on the preview. This apparently has been an issue with RSO since 0.16? And it's 0.17? 1736, that's what we're running right now. So, I wanted a map that was a little bit different. Specifically, I wanted a map that wasn't just snow, because for some reason with alien biomes, I am plagued with constantly getting snow maps. It's crazy. Nearly every time I go to make a new map, fresh map, every single time, it starts by giving me a snow map. And I have to hit the random seed several times before I finally get a map that doesn't have a whole bunch of snow at the start. But this one's a bit more interesting because we actually get the glowing stuff on the ground. Yeah, in case you didn't know, alien biomes, there's areas that actually have little, like, glowing puddles of, like, like, different colored little puddles. Like, this one looks like it's green puddles. I think there's other places where you get, like, lava on the ground. It's actually pretty nice with alien biomes. Now, all these settings will stay the same if I go back, so I want to show the actual activated mod list. So, we have Afraid of the Dark, Alien Biomes, the base game, 1736, Bottleneck, the Bob's Clock, which I really like. We have Crafting Speed Research, which I'm pretty sure is working at the moment. I had to disable this briefly until it was updated when 1735 hit. Even distribution, the standard library that most everything uses. The loaders, I have loaders in this. Long reach research upgrade, which I need to say this again because this is the start of a new series, but I mentioned this yesterday. Long reach research upgrade 017. This particular mod is actually broken right now. As of this recording, right now, this mod is still broken. I fixed my local copy so that it actually works. So, The only reason why I am able at the moment to use this particular mod is because I fixed my local copy. And if you want to know how to fix your local copy, go to the mod portal page for it. If I can load it up for myself. Here, let's get the display capture going so you can see here. This is the mod portal page. On the discussion, see please fix. This person says they updated that particular line 205. I wouldn't put too much stock in line 205 as a specific line. Just do a control F in the technology.lua, prototypes technology.lua in the archive file for the mod in your mod installation directory, which in Windows is in your user folder app data roaming Factorio mods. That's the string. So it's user slash app data slash roaming slash Factorio slash mods, and that will have all the mods that you have installed. Open up this one, edit, and edit the file in prototypes technology.lua, and save it up. Don't put too much stock on line 205 depending on what editor you use to edit. Just make sure that you change Power Armor 2 to Power Armor Mark 2 in every location that references Power Armor 2. It might be more than one location. So, that being said, I have LTN, though I have yet to ever use this mod. I do have it enabled. I have all the actual Pyanodon mods, RSO, Squeak Through. I have ultimate belts this time because I am not running Bob's Logistics. And this will add a whole bunch of upgraded belts. I'm uncertain if Pyanodons adds any extra belts at the end, but I actually like ultimate belts. There's currently a little bit of overlap if you're using Bob's, because if I'm not completely mistaken, I think that the speed of Bob's highest tier belt versus the speed of the lowest tier of the ultimate belts is identical. I think it's 90 items per second, and yet this ultimate belts mod converts blue belts into the base ultimate belt. So there is a rather big jump if you're using Bob's Logistics and have Bob's belts, because you'll go from Bob's blues to ultimate belts. I forget the color. I think it's green. Ultimate belts greens, which are 90 items per second, which is the equivalent of Bob's greens. So, yeah, you pretty much just jump to the highest tier of Bob's at that point, which is a little bit imbalanced, oddly enough, one would imagine. And then the fastest tier of these is like, the graphics are broken because things just move too fast. But the things actually move at, I think it's 270 items per second is the value on the highest tier of ultimate belts. And it's like the maximum speed for the fastest inserters. It's like the maximum speed that an inserter at its fastest possible speed can handle. And then what is it really used for? I prefer what is it really used for over FNEI. Because I think the UI for FNEI is awful. It is... Yeah, it is just horrific. Horrific. I hate it. I hate the UI for FNEI. I much prefer the UI of what it is. What is it really used for? So let us begin. Let's get our... Let's make sure that the map seed is set back to what it should be. And all the settings are back to what they are. I've turned off enemies, as I usually do, because this is a rather complex mod. Far more complex, actually, than Angels with Bobs. So this will be very interesting. Now, I will note that I do have a personal playthrough that I've been playing that has Bobs and Angels and Pyanodons and AAI all running together through a compatibility mod, and I talked about this a bit yesterday in yesterday's video. But I want to experience Pyanodons without Angels, because the way that they operate when played together creates a number of, for lack of a better word, shortcuts. There are things that are easier in one mod that make processes from the other mod easier. So, for example, on that map, I am straight up just mining tin instead of converting bobmonium to tin. I'm just mining tin, and I have a recipe in metal mixing furnaces that consumes far less tin ore per unit of tin plate, for example. And then lead has a similar recipe, so I'm crushing rubite to get lead, and there's my solder that I can make, potentially. And then AAI adds sand from rocks that you can convert into glass at better early game ratios than smelting quartz into glass. Of course, Bob's greenhouses add a very nice and consistent early source of wood that is a bit harder in both Pyanodons and Angels mods. So each mod seems to have aspects that are a lot simpler than intended for that particular mod, so it ends up feeling like I'm cheating in a lot of processes by having all these mods together. But I guess that might be part of the point? I don't know. So today I'm just going to try playing Pyanodons all by itself, with some quality of life stuff and all of that. Alright, so here we go. Titanium near us. Aluminium, iron, lead, copper, quartz, borax, tin, and coal. And phosphate and stone. Oh, that's the other thing. The Angels mod means that there would be no stone patches, but I need stone in this mod. Do I actually like this setup of resources? Not particularly, to be completely honest. There's a quartz rock. Oh yeah, and I do have the RSO setting enabled that will reveal the resources that have been spawned on the map that are out of sight, it'll reveal them. Cat's back, by the way. Yeah, dude. Hey. So, there's Oil Patch. What do you want? What do you want? You got your paw on my arm. You want to go on my lap? Oh, come on. Come on, if you want to go, go. Do it! Ah. Ah. Kitty! Yeah. I know. There he is. There he is. Be there. Be right here. Alright, so there's my stone. Now I'm gonna have to figure out what the early game... And then he jumps away. Here's Tail. Here's Tail. What does this early game actually look like? Because it has been some time, so it looks mostly vanilla. So I want to break some rocks to get some coal, if there are any coal-bearing rocks. Couple of them here. Ah, my green screen. I see that line. What is with this line? It's because it's in some shadow. My green screen is not able to be extended out flatly, for one. It's also a bit dirty and the lighting is awful. So, various issues with that. I actually have to pull from the other side so that this one doesn't have a crease in it that puts it into shadow. Anyway. Cat's like, what are you doing? Here, have your bed properly placed. I say bed, it's just a towel that I have for him on top of a heating pad. Next to me, on my desk, this is a lot of rocks, but not any big rocks with coal in it. This is sad. Also, Cat's gonna be slightly confused because his name is K-O-L-E, coal. So every time I try to refer to the resource, that's his name. He'll also be trying to go after my lunch. Oh, I forgot the most important thing. There we go. Color. Set to cobalt. Must set my color to cobalt every single time. Definitely not going to lack for stone in this. So the iron's way over there. And the coal is way over there. Alright. Let's get our burner miner drill down. Gotta love even distribution. Now, how many ore per plate? Is it 4? It's more than 4. More than 5. Oh, is it 8 ore per, or is it, what is it? It is 8 ore per plate. Wow. Oh, there's some coal. Wow, 8 ore per plate. That is a lot. Because think of it this way, I'm coming off of having access to Angel's refining, which even, like, at the most basic level with Angel's refining, it ends up being 1 ore per plate. Here, when starting out, it's 8 ore per iron plate. That is... oh boy. Now, I should note, going into this, I'm not fully blind. As you may expect, or know. It's like, duh, of course you're not, because you said you have a personal playthrough that has all of these overhaul mods going for it, including Pyanodons. And yeah, that is true. I am currently blind, though, as to the proper way to play Pyanodons by itself, for one. Doing those other processes that were easier to do in Angels and Bobs. So there's that. And then there's the whole... I haven't even gotten to green science yet. The science after your basic science. So there is that as well. Now, I'm pretty sure I have settings to maintain 5 units of coal on my person. Also, make sure alt mode is on. Make some of those. Oh, right. Right. That's the other complication of this mod, is that because of the way it's built, you need to move and grab some copper to make small parts to make the burner mining drill. Which I'm going to assume is also going to be 8 units. Now I'm just going to clear some space. I'm also going to need wood. And without Angel's bioprocessing, and yes, I purposefully turned down the number of forests that appear. Wait, this is... Oh. It appears that having alien biomes means you're going to get the standard crude oil patches? And RSO, I have... Well, RSO I think defaults to setting that you can get the oil in the starting location, so it's basically saying, hey, you can have oil, so here's oil in this area, but I don't think that there'll be any more of this crude? Of this type of oil patch? There might not be any more of it out there, because there is a special oil patch for Pyanodons. Alright, where's all the wood? Out here. Also, this counts as desert sand, which I think slows me down. That's the other reason why I hate getting snow maps. It's because they do also count as desert sand tiles, and they slow you down. Thank you, Alien Biomes, for having... It halves your speed. At least I think that's how that works. Honestly, don't know how it works, because it is a 100% speed penalty, and I don't know how speed penalties are applied, if that equates to 50% of your actual run speed or not, because obviously your speed isn't 0 on this terrain. So I'm going to assume it's half of your normal run speed when you hit terrain that slows you down. I think that penalty goes away when you build, like when you place down brick tiles. So like the stone bricks or the cement or any of that stuff that you can walk around on. Alright, I think that's enough time given to get some copper. We can now make another burner miner drill. And, by necessity, this one will go onto the iron. Oh, right. I went and I shift seed, and that probably just took all of my coal away. I'm uncertain what the stack size is. It appears stack sizes will be 500. That was something I did notice in my personal playthrough. Seemed most stack sizes were set to 500 of the various resources. Which is nice, you can get stacks of 500 for iron and copper plates, so that's convenient. Normally I think it's like, 200? I think is the normal stack size for those. I'm just cleaning up around where the base area is going to be. Or at least the resource processing areas. Any, coal-bearing ones up here? I'm going to need, 2 more mining drills. Wow, this is clearly a very slow process. So, may as well help speed it up by mining myself. I have to get used to having an actual iron ore patch, or having actual patches of resources that are not infinite. What do you want? You're looking at me like you wanna come to my lap again, but on your own terms. No, I don't. Get your whiskers off my arm. There's one. I need one more. Interesting how it says 8.2 iron. Oh joy. This is one of those processes that would be a lot more interesting if I was running AAI. But no matter. Two more. Come on. Thank you. Come again. Really? Really? Alright. One more. Then it takes a really long time. That's the other issue with this. I could have just, you know, placed down another iron drill, but See this right here, these two are the Pyanodon oil that I'm used to. Alright, so those are moving. I will now slowly gain extra coal. Now, what are things I can build? There is basic energy to start with. Interesting. Methane icon. Oh, I have to get used to all the new icons, too. Oh wow, you actually do have saline water. Hmm. Interesting how you start with rocket fuel. Would be nice to have some hot air. The issue with that, of course, is you need machines, and machines require power. Will require power. Give me what copper plates you've made. Give me that iron. More iron. How much do I have? 4 plates. Need 9. Back to hand mining. Could always just pull the copper miner back here to get more iron, because I don't need as much copper as I do the iron at the moment, but I'm just gonna do this the way that I am most comfortable with, which is, shall we say, the slow way. I wonder how long these patches are actually going to last me. Usually the starting zone ore doesn't last particularly long. Another reason why I prefer having infinite ore patches, but never mind. It's not a mechanic that I find particularly enjoyable, more so tedious. Then I need some coal. How I'm gonna get the necessary amount of coal gas to mine aluminium, I have no idea. Or the acetylene for the titanium. Syngas is pretty easy to get for when I need borax. Probably need the borax for the acetylene, I don't know. Haven't made acetylene yet. Need it for the lead as well, that's going to be fairly important. I'm also going to need a lot of wood, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's interesting. So, this is what's interesting to me. This recipe can only be made by hand. It is here so that you can make circuit boards to build early game items. Alright, well, yeah. Yeah, this makes sense. So, you need printed circuit substrate production to make the machine that then uses the printed circuit substrates to make the circuit boards. Yeah, that was... Why are you able to make these circuit boards by hand? Because they're used for electric mining drills? That is, I think, the most logical conclusion that I've just made from that. It's a lot of copper per circuit board. This handcrafting recipe for the circuit boards is, I think, more copper. It's a very simple and easy... Oh, hello. Tar pits. That's a new one. Hadn't seen those before. More lead. Hey, there's a good source of iron and coal. Yeah, that's excellent. And there's chromium. Big aluminum. Big copper. Alright, so we've got good resources around us. We even have oil sand. Wow. That's a small iron up there. Well, it's 2 iron and coal. So, yeah, I will not be... For lack of relatively close by resources. That is a good thing. However, I do need more wood. I'm just exploring at this point while I wait on plates to be produced. Guess I'm gonna need at least one of those at some point. And a boiler. What is this? Oh, quote-unquote phosphate rock. It's pile of bones. Several piles of bones out there. You're out of... You're out of coal. Alright. Go and, get coal put back in those. Into that, I should say. Grab these iron plates, make my 2 new burner mining drills. Because, of course, I'm gonna want a lot of things, but the most important things, or thing, I should say, right now, is more iron. I'm going to need to expand the coal out here with additional miners, but what's ultimately the point if it takes 20 minutes to get the resources I need to make those extra miners for the coal? So that will help me out considerably, and the 1 copper up here should still be fine as the 1 copper. So you need 29 units for a steam engine. I'll get the offshore pump. because I'll be needing at least the one offshore pump, which also requires circuit boards. All right, so you need the circuit boards for the pump to start getting your power. Good to know. Probably will need some pipes too, but yeah. Considering just saving for the steam engine at the moment, but nah. Oh, right. If I'm gonna expand, I have to expand in sets of 2 out there. Alright, so let's have a look out here. There's deadwood. Coal-bearing rocks are always nice. Now, I don't know if it's RSO that... In fact, I think it's RSO that spawns the rocks like this, but I am absolutely 100% certain that it is a bit overkill on the rock spawns. I think it spawns far too many for me all the time. Even after patches to the mod that say that it's tweaked it and toned it down, it's never toned it down enough. Like, you need to more than halve the amounts of rocks that are spawning, at least near the spawn location, because I think it's a little bit ridiculous how much stone and coal are available in the starting location rocks with RSO in particular. If it's RSO, it might be that it's a combination of alien biomes and RSO that's the issue here. Perhaps RSO needs to have some sort of mechanism of recognizing when alien biomes is installed and override the rock spawning of alien biomes to better manage how many rocks are available, because this is a little bit ridiculous. Just a little ridiculous. But hey, at least it's given me something to do while I wait on iron plates to be produced from my burners. Oh, there's all those piles of bones out there. Here, have more coal. Take the coal. Alright, now I probably want to put my extra one onto copper. Just grab these. Thank you for the copper plates. Next one should be on stone. I should likely have 2 for stone at the moment. One making stone, one making stone bricks. Because I know I'm going to need stone bricks to make hot air. Because I know I'm going to want hot air for increased productivity or increased efficiency on how much iron ore per plate is being used. And using stone bricks to make hot stone bricks. Just energy in, to produce the heat, to produce the hot air. I mean, as a process, it makes sense, but considering the technology level of this game, I would think that there would be a more advanced process than that, even for the early game. It seems a bit out of place. Well, not out of place, but more out of time with that particular process. I mean, you can make similar arguments for most of the processes that these mods add, but that one in particular, making hot air from hot stones, while yes, makes sense, probably isn't a process that would actually be used. Give me coal. Just keeping an eye on my resources. I'm trying to decide if I want to make, or what I want to make. If I want to just do this. Just keep on adding additional iron to 8. But I also want at least 8 on the coal. But I also want to get out of this phase as quickly as possible. So, choices. Especially when you don't need the burner mining drills for anything else that I know of. Make these 2 for more coal. Now, of course, I'm going to do everything I can to get to infinite coal production as quickly as possible. Infinite coal and power. Because you can actually do that with Pyanodons if you really want to. Something tells me that it's incredibly resource intensive, but it is something that you can do. Just like you can make wood from nothing but power, you can also make coal from water, which is an infinite resource. $29 units for steam engines. Also, we're going to need at least a full belt of iron just to feed the production of small parts. These guys. Because these guys consume 3.5 iron plates per 2 small parts. That's insanity. And small parts are used for most everything. They are definitely worth having on the main bus, but feeding their production is just incredibly intensive on the amount of iron. I could make a drill. A drill. But I have no means of powering it at the moment. Just like I have no means of producing science of any kind at the moment. That's right. How does one even get past the burner phase without... Well, you can build a ton of things right off the bat, so I would imagine... Yeah, so I'm going to need glass and a falgae plantation. Mushrooms. Let's just call this mushrooms. That is the mushroom plantation. I will be needing one of them. I will be needing a lot more wood than I have for that, and soil, which means I will need a soil extractor, which means I will even need 10. Wow. So it's a really involved process just to get to the point where you have the automation skill, or the tech. Maybe that's why you start the game with the ability to make transport belts. But I mean, it's handy that you start the game with the ability to make transport belts, but it's an issue when you don't have any undergrounds or splitters yet. You need tech for those. So, oh boy, this'll be interesting. Oh hey, I can make my first steam engine at the moment. Here, have more coal. Yeah, you need soil, and then soil is... Oh, right, so that'll be the use of extra burner mining drills once I do transition. That will be handy. Okay. I will officially have power. Where do I want to put it? Probably closer to the coal. Probably don't want to foul these up, though. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to, probably put it there. And then be like... this. Maybe orient this the other direction. Then have to use pipes. We require more pipes. Whoops. Let there be water flowing. Let there be coal in there and power being produced. So I now have available power up to 1.8 megawatts. So, what am I going to use this power for? That's a good question. I don't know yet what I'm going to use the power for, but I've got power. I have got power. Well, the first thing to do is to automate the power, I would imagine. That would be the best use of resources. So that's going to require belts. That's going to require poles. As much as I don't like it using up my wood. That's one thing about AAI, actually, that it adds. It adds the ability to make iron power poles instead of wooden power poles. You can choose which one you want, but yeah, I don't got that this time. Oh right, I'm not doing this stone either. Gee, I wonder why. Alright, that goes there. That goes there. This will be my... God. Where? There. That one. And the Loda. Interesting how there's just the 3. Then I'm going to need enough iron for the electric mining drill. Stuff's running out of power, of coal for power, whatever. Anyway. Going to need a crystal mine to make glass, which is an inefficient process. Also need more coal up there. There's the mining drill. You'll notice it takes small parts to make the belts, the yellow belts. Really, I don't have... Make the furnaces! Seriously? Whoops. This is just so slow in the early game. Wow. Makes me wonder if is this really intended to be this slow. Probably. I would say most likely it is. Things will get a lot more complex as we go, though. All of that waiting just for that little bit. Something tells me that I'm just going to want to keep on expanding this iron. Well past 8. Looks like I'll need to grab some more copper too. Give me your copper. Now what? More belts. Let's get this drill down. On a location that will hopefully last. Let's stick it there. No, not there. Now to just get the belt over. Then I'll have automated my energy for now. For as long as there is coal being produced there. And just for as long as there is being coal produced there. That looks like it's probably going to be about at least 30 to 40 squares. Tiles. Actually, we can count. If I start going up from this tile, it's actually 12. It's everything. So shift space pauses the game, and I think by default it gives you the grid. That should be exactly aligned. Then it's 24. More tiles. So yeah, it was 36 total tiles that I need stuff for. Belts. This gets me halfway there. Of course I need more coal. I suppose if I built a box and a burner inserter, that what I can do is box coal from this machine. That way I have a supply coming in outside of the burners. This should only use half, or not, sure. I always forget what the button combo is. It's right click, drag, control, right click, drag, I think. I always forget. Anyhoozle, give me iron, 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 iron. More iron. That should get me the amount that I need. Huzzah! I now no longer need that siphoned. Now it's just more miners there. And, yeah, I can fuel my empire off of that. Going to be needing a lot of belts going forward. Whoops. Go back. Wrong one. That's one thing even distribution does not take into consideration. How much fuel is in the individual machines already. What I'd like, actually, is a fuel balancer between machines, but that seems like it would be rather complicated to do. Okay. How to approach things going forward without the use of splitters or undergrounds. That is the current challenge in the game, because you're used to having a whole bunch of... You're used to the layouts of how things work when you have splitters and are able to do things and have undergrounds. Like, I know how to do furnace line when I have splitters and undergrounds. How I like to do it. What I do not like being forced to do is the way that I'll end up having to do it if I want to automate my production of anything, iron or copper, or iron and copper, I should say. I'm going to need a line from coal going out to the smelting line for those, and it's going to have to... So it's going to have to be like... So I'm going to have either iron or coal come in. It's going to be a single line here, and we're going to have one come in there, and we're going to have one come in there, and then have the smelting line where it's half and half, and then it goes out that way. And I'm going to need actual inserters for it as well. Where are my inserters? Right there. So that is going to have to be what the initial smelting lines are going to look like. And then there's also going to be that, I guess I'll be less space efficient this time. And why am I putting this here and overlapping aluminum? Just to have a idea. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it and plop it down so I have it as a blueprint to go off of for a little bit later, so I don't forget it. Because I'll need one for iron, I'll need one for copper, and I'll need one for quartz, for glass, as well. Now, what machines am I able to make at the moment? I need the soil extractor, which will need tin, which will need Where is tin? Up here. Which will need steam to operate. Which will need coal to feed the steam to operate. Which will need electric mining drills to do all of these things. All of these things! These steps! It's easy enough to... I don't mind the extra steps to take. It's just... time. Time is what it takes, not complexity. I don't really care about the complexity, just how long it's gonna take to fulfill the requirements. Okay. So I have to decide... Yeah, because this is gonna need tin as well. Both of these will require tin. 25 tin plates, that is 250 units of tin ore, for the record. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need... iron bricks. Sooner rather than later. And of course I need electric mining drills. So, okay. Let's do this in phases. Step 1 is clearly more iron. I mean, clearly I need more iron. And clearly I'm going to need more transport belts and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to need iron, I'm going to need mining drills. I am apparently, officially, short on the copper production in actuality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my iron smelting. Now, I also have to make the decision now of how are we orienting ourselves for the bus? Which direction is it going to go? The bus, I guess it's gonna go, well, I guess I'm mirrored, so it's going to go that direction. It's going to go towards this single patch that's out here, rather than potentially block any of this stuff that's close to me. I'm going to start the main bus on this side of things, which means that I can probably get away with orienting my lines here. Now, I am just going to need a lot of belts for this. I'm going to need to bring power out. And I'll probably need a bit more power than what I'm currently producing, but I'll get to that when I get to that. Okay. Ah, more copper is required now to make more belts. Because remember, I'm going to need to belt coal in and the iron in to the smelting line. So until I have the resources to make that happen, the process won't really be automated. Now, that being said, step 1 is to get at least the iron out there. So, get the iron to the line and then worry about the coal coming in. Iron first, then the coal, because I can manually feed the coal in a lot easier while I am building what I need to build. While I'm building belts, I can use the production of those furnaces and of my electric miners to use the belts I need to bring the coal in faster. So that'll be how I handle that. Then I'll need to do the exact same thing on the copper. Okay, mining drills. Sort of want to start from the edge as much as I can. Ugh. Need even more stuff and things. And yeah, the inserters will also be a problem. There we go. Now, I'm not going to get rid of this for the time being, because, well, it is simply better to have addition rather than an either-or in this scenario. Must have more copper. Actually, you know what? Let's move 2 of these over to copper. As much as I don't want to move these, I need the copper. Really now? Does that not say 5.5 copper plates? It's because you need 10. You need actually 15 plates to make the 3 circuit boards, so yeah. It lies. You need 15. In the meantime, though, I will collect all of the iron plates that I need. And also, I guess, set up the next line. Just paste in the next line. And I guess also paste in the tin and the quartz lines to go with it. Well, Actually, it depends on if I need the glass before the science. If not, fantastic. But if so, I will have the blueprint put down. Alright, give me some of this. I guess I could make pipes if I really wanted to at the moment, but I don't necessarily need them. Thank you for those plates. Still not enough, alright. Start eating up this iron. I want to know how many electric miners it will take to saturate these stone furnaces. Seems like something useful to know. Especially since it's 8 to 1. I'm likely going to want, actually, a couple of inserters per furnace. Now I can see that this is eating up all of the iron that's coming in, so even as is, it's a bit much, but I need mining drills for copper next. I'm gonna focus on getting the iron and the copper set up first. So that seems like a much better idea. To me. Give me the drill. One thing I have noticed about Pyanodons is it definitely does consume the copper. Then I will need poles. So much for having 100 units of wood for the mushroom machine. Alright, excellent. I now have non-zero copper coming in. Would like another machine, though. Another mining machine. Yeah, there's... Do I really... Alright, so what I'm going to do is this. Because there's no point in having two furnaces. The ore will not ever back up once, of course, once it goes through all that. It will not normally back up in that machine. Here, let's stick that in the other machine. to show my point. It is fast. It is enough for the one machine. Because it's 8 units of iron per plate. There might be a little spillover. Looks like there is a little bit of spillover, but is it actually going to significantly back up? I don't think so. Over time, it will fully back up, but eh. Give me copper. And give me electric mining drills! More drills! And more inserters! And all these other glorious things. These will be moved at some point, but for now. There we go. That should work. Right? I would hope. I would hope and pray that this should be somewhat functional. Of course, now all the burner drills are starting to run out of juice. Considering how much copper I now need, I might just move more of them. Give me more belts now, because the next step will be, of course, finishing off the automation by getting a couple more miners and lines out. And that's not going to be cheap on the resources. Particularly iron, but also copper. Yeah, this should be fine. Yeah, that gave half to each. Excellent. Now I could just keep growing this, but it is now just about that time for me to take my lunch break. I will be back soon-ish with my lunch and go over my plans and schemes while I eat. There will not be a whole lot to talk about at the start today because we can't do science yet. It's a mission just to get to the point where you can do science. Thank you, Pyanodons mods. Anyway, I'll be back soon. And we're back. I had a shorter break today that was about 15 minutes long versus a full 30. Wasn't as hungry, so didn't eat a full meal. Just had an avocado with peanut butter. Avocado with extra chunky peanut butter in the pit hole. I slice into quarters, peel the peel off, and just take a spoon with some peanut butter right out of the jar that I have next to me and just spread it on. So, going forward, I want to do this at least somewhat properly. I don't want to do the whole small amounts of everything thing that I could do. It's viable, but I don't actually want to do it in that way. Primarily because doing it that way causes issues, because you sort of need to plan for scale from the beginning for things to work out correctly. I'm gonna need poles, I'm gonna need transport belts, going to need inserters, going to need electric mining drills, but I'm not going to worry about that one quite yet. Also, I should extend these out a bit. Now, this whole thing will change once I get logistics and have access to the underground belts and the splitters. This entire setup will change, but there's a certain amount of stuff that I need at the moment that the mining drills will bring me, that these little burner drills will get me to, as you can see. Because right now, I'm going to start... Do I really want to start fully automating that production line, or that furnace line? Actually, I don't. Like, well, actually, no. I don't want to do that. No, what I would much rather do is A, see what I need for the crystal mine. Requires the soil extractor, which the soil extractor requires tinned cable, so I'm going to need tin plates next. That is next. That is guaranteed what I need next. And that will require mining drills and transport belts. Because I need steam, so I will also need a boiler. I will need steam to feed the tin miner drills. Now, you'll note that there isn't any quartz being shown on this overlap. That is because the quartz uses a separate machine. Now, the question is, well, I guess first comment is I should be vertically oriented on this, but second comment is, do I want to do separate lines, or do I just want to do it together this way? It's a difference only in how it's piped. Speaking of which, I will need pipes. And an underground. And of course, power. And of course, water. I will need water up here. Unless I decide to do it this way. And pipe the steam out like that. Max length 10, so it's the equivalent of 10, but I want the ability to walk easily. It looks nicer as the undergrounds. So I will do the undergrounds as best I can and get it up there. This is easier because this will not require extra belts up there. But it will need a lot of iron. A lot of iron. And am I producing a lot of iron? No. No, I am not. I could produce more iron. So I will produce more iron. More! Because more is more. And more is awesome. And since I don't have bobs at all, none of bobs to go with this, it would be incredibly convenient if I did have Bob's. I think it's in Bob's Logistics, having access to all of the different types of pipes that get added in that. The copper pipes and the steel pipes and the plastic pipes and the ceramic pipes and the titanium pipes and tungsten pipes. All that good stuff. This is going to kill me later. Look at how far I have to take this up. Jeez. We require more materials. And eventually these will run out of coal. Head on over, keep grabbing stuff and things. I now have a much more sufficient supply of copper coming in. Gosh, it's so much iron for this. Oh, and I guess I usually have pipes. And then this is usually chests and then assembling machines. Would I rather scale this up than try to keep doing this? Yeah, let's actually be somewhat semi-intelligent with this and instead focus on scaling up the production, because I'm pretty sure that'll save more time in the end, since we're gonna have to do it anyway. If ever I have been tempted to set 200% speed, this is one of those times. But no, I will endure it. Whether or not you will endure it is a different matter, but then again, when you're watching this, unless you're watching it live, which, in the grand scheme of things, chances are you're not watching it live, you'll be able to speed the video up to 2 times speed if you're watching on YouTube. If you didn't know that that's a thing, well, hit that little gear icon on the video player on the bottom right hand corner, and yeah, there's a playback speed option there that you can set to 2x. That is my most used YouTube feature. You can also do it on Twitch, on the VODs that are on Twitch itself. Ugh. So, I'm just gonna keep scaling until I have this whole line being consumed, I suppose. You see how we're now having some go past. And just due to the speed of these inserters, it's actually pretty nice. I can actually build inserters now when I want / need them. Need some more coal though. There we go. Still haven't set up stone bricks. I should probably do that. I should probably do that at some point. Set up some stone brick production. I'll do that when I need that. Let's go with that. Or better yet, just like fill a box with stuff. I might want at least some of that, and then just grab some coal. And there we go. Conversion into stone bricks. The cat has returned. More mining drills. Get the... Whoops. Get those drills down. Come on. So that should definitely saturate all of those. At the point I may not need these burners here anymore. Oh look, more mining drills. Even more mining drills. And some inserters. This is a much, much, much better pace. It's already a better pace. Of course, I will need the coal to feed all of these. I should have pretty much no problem now making the pipe to grounds that I need. Now I could do the exact same thing I've just done with the copper and fully, shall we say, graduate from using these burners. Yeah, let's just say that I have officially graduated from using the iron burners. And I can go ahead and just shift C and feed coal into everything. Because I'm just constantly able to make more mining drills now. And then I'm going to get to the point where I will actually very soon need to start a new line of drills. Because if I want to add more now, it would be down here. I mean, yeah, I could add another 2 or 3 out on the bottom, but nah, I'd rather add more in a new row. But I don't have splitters to combine those outputs, so I think this will be where things cap for now. On the iron side of things. Now, the copper side of things, that's another matter entirely. Let's Let's now expand this copper a little bit. Because I can just keep on adding. Issue, of course, being the power usually goes in here. So, I do lose that, at the very least, for now. But this does provide a centralized location I can now come to grab more iron and copper plates. And I won't need these burners anymore. That evens things out. Interesting. That is a lot of copper I need. Still? Really? I guess it ultimately doesn't matter because it all gets shoved onto one side. Whether or not I have an uneven amount on each side. That same argument applies to the iron, I know. Now, how many of these are actually in use? So these ones on the end are not getting used yet, and that's out of 10 mining. So I'm about half. Good to know. More mining drills on the thingy. We're getting there. We're getting there on this production. It's been a slow process, but scale is being achieved. About time. Once this is taken care of, it's time for tin, and I will do the same thing with tin. The exact same thing will be done with tin. Now, the other thing to bear in mind is that as well. Have to consider how much energy is being used to do all of this. So it may just be time for additional power. Of course, of course, of course. Additional resources are required. Now I'm going to note that I was going to have a gap here anyway. Just as an FYI, the way that I make these lines of boilers is that I always tend to have the gap every pair. So that'll do me for the power generation for the moment. But my fear is that the one mining drill may not be able to handle this. Okay, it pauses, but I'm afraid that once the steam starts being used on the titanium that I'm... not the titanium, the tin, that I'm going to need more coal coming out there. So I will put down that mining drill for additional coal. And be on my merry little way. Oh wow, excellent. I could make a science lab, as if I could make the science yet. Oh wow, that also requires coke? Okay. Alright, game. That's the way you like it then. I officially have as many mining copper as I do iron. So I have now graduated on the copper production. I have as much copper ore coming in as I do the iron. Which is cool! And I can now make wonderful things that I don't really need to make yet. The destructive distillation column is what is needed. This, I think, will make coke. Here, let's do coke. Coal gas from coal in a destructive distillation column will produce coke plus a little bit of iron oxide. This can be made into iron plates slowly. By 0.3, that's just a 30% chance that it produces iron oxide. 40 coal gas. Now, coal gas gets used in aluminium ore. Tar, we do not currently have a use for. Tar gets voided in gas vents, oddly enough. It can be voided in a gas vent. But tar does have its uses, apparently in solder. You can make coal gas, a lot of coal gas, from tar. And we happen to have tar pits nearby, which is fortunate enough, but I don't know exactly the tech required to mine it. This also produces flue gas, which can be voided for now, but you can also use it to make ash. Ash can be used to make rich clay, which I know will be required for science later. Apparently also logs. After coal processing 1. But mostly I think in the beginning I would be voiding ash. In a burner. Regardless, that ended up becoming a tangent. Coal gas is used to make syngas. It's used in glass, apparently. In more advanced processing of glass in high-pressure furnaces. It's used in more advanced excavation. Can be used to make heavy oil. Benzene, apparently. Or it can be voided. I think it also, maybe not as coal gas, but as syngas. Syngas gets used in power production, yeah, here. Can be used in power production. And then what you can do is you can use coal gas, take coal to produce coal gas, 40 coal gas, and coke, and then take the coke and make even more coal gas out of the coke. And then you're left with ash and tar to deal with, and the iron oxide. Now, what I'm uncertain about, there is a coal gas. It's not listed here. Was that something? Huh. I thought there was a coal gas recipe for mushrooms. This one's wood. Which, I mean, you can make wood. You can just make wood here. But yeah, this is another free way of making coal gas. Actually, it makes a fair bit of tar. But you can make coal gas from tar as well, so all very interesting. All very interesting stuff. I need another several inserters. Power's fine. I'm producing exactly as much copper as I am iron, so I shouldn't be needing these final 2. Anyway. Now that we have all of that being done, I need tin. Okay. Now then. I'll be needing a fair few of these piped grounds. And regular pipes. Success! Welcome to the party, Tin. There we go. Dawn 0 amounts of tin are now being produced. Do I want to belt it all the way down here, though? I suppose I will. Let's make all of the belts on the planet. Because I can make all of the belts on the planet. Oh good, I have a nice amount of stone bricks I can now use. There we go. A whole 1 brick remains. After all of that. This is far better. The only thing that would be better about all of this would be getting these lines out and have boxes that they get shoved into. So I only have to click on the boxes. But that will require a heck of a lot more inserters. Alright, so you're going to be this line. The thing about this one is my goal is non-zero. Non-zero is the goal for the tin. So I'm not particularly worried about how much I am producing. I just need enough to make the machines that I need to make. Because it's 10 tin, as far as I can tell. 10 of this ore per plate. So I need a fair few plates for the machines. Still have plenty of stuff. I have another mining drill. Just sitting around doing absolutely nothing whatsoever. Let's, that's just to get the alignment. Let's at least do that much. Also, what's the mining time? What? Standard. Alright, cool. Because things like the quartz and the borax and some other things have increased mining time. Oh wow. Okay. It seems that the tin that's coming in is a a bit much for the furnaces to handle. Because I'm pretty sure it's 10. At least 10. I want to consume as much as I'm producing, so this should do it. Excellent. So now new things are opening up. Hey look, I can make the gas vents. I'm likely going to be needing them. Okay, soil. So I have options to what I can set up next. I can either go for the mushrooms or go for the glass. I will go for the mushrooms. Yeah, I will go for the mushrooms next. So this soil extractor will give me the soil that I need for this. I will have to go hunting for additional wood. I can also make the crystal mine. It's nice seeing this, this is a pretty color for the tin. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. But of course, my color is cobalt blue. That is the color that I now am pretty certain that that is my favorite color at the moment. My favorite shade of blue, cobalt. Second being cerulean. I do like cerulean. Cerulean is, for reference, cerulean is 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 6, 7. This is cerulean. It's a lighter blue. Blue-green, really. That's cerulean versus the cobalt. How do I know those numbers? Well, I have a post-it note, which with the light you can't really read it. There. Right there. It's out of focus, but you can sort of see. And the top two, the top one is the alt code for euros, and the one below that is the alt code for British pounds. Because my day job is transcribing with a service called Rev. I do transcriptions with them, and a lot of that is business related. Can't really say what I do, but I'll say that euros and pounds are things that come up, and I have a US keyboard, so I have to use the alt codes for those particular symbols. Of course, I know by heart, by now, what those symbols are, but they do come up occasionally, and it's nice to have the thing there. Alright, so soil will require water, so off we go down towards our water. And this will just be extracting into a chest, pretty much. Preferably where there's already power. It's just going to be dumped in a chest because it's not really going to be used for much of anything for quite some time. Now we could also straight up make limestone out of this, so whenever we do need limestone, that would be the thing that I would put onto a bus. Do not bus soil. Do not bus soil. That is a terrible idea. It's so pretty. It's a bit low res though. I do like it. It has all of these buildings of Pyanodons are nice. They don't quite fit the actual base game like color palette, the theme color wise of the base game, on the certain style of how things look in the base game. Like here, these guys, these are standard art. They are a bit higher resolution than what's given by Pyanodons, but it does have an industrial look to it. But things like how the rivets are done on this could better match how the rivets are done on the boilers and on the pipes. You see how, well, these aren't rivets, these are like bolts bolted in, but how these look, and the shading and the glossiness, and where it's like rusted along the edges, that sort of older looking design to the various machines, like they're being used, and they're not like this, which looks almost as if it's brand new right off the shelf. I mean, realistically, when you first make the machine, that's fine. But considering everything else sort of has this more aged look to it, on the metal machines, there's sort of these elements of age and more browner tones. I don't know, it's just a little bit off, and it's something I think that Angel's mods does really well. In particular, the machines that Angel adds and the various tanks and stuff, it just seems to fit with the tone and the overall art style that already exists with everything else in the game. It's almost like they belong, like they're a part of it, in a lot better way than a lot of the things that are added here in Pyanodons. And also, I think that a lot of the animations on these machines are a little bit lower frame rate than the animations on the other machines. I'm pretty sure that they operate at a lower number of frames in their animation cycles than something like this, where you get all these little moving parts on the engines, all these gears and little doohickeys moving around on these steam engines. This is part of the base game. They're running pretty smoothly. This one, it's like, yeah, I can sort of make out the individual images in this animation, particularly this falling dirt. It's just something's a little bit off about it. Anyway, that's enough ranting while I wait for soil to be made before I go out hunting for additional wood so I can make my first mushroom plantation. Oh hey, you're empty. Okay, the hunt for wood. There's some right there. I need 100 units of the stuff to make that guy. I also need circuit board, apparently, and that's going to require wood as well. What is it short on for this? I guess it's assuming on the wood that it's the wood being short. I can just do that and then it'll accurately report. Anyway. Hunting down wood. Somewhere there should be forests. I didn't completely turn off forests. I turned the size up, actually. Oh hey, it's more stone. That's nice. Stone patches. Oh hello, zinc ore. Wonder what's required for that. Big oil patch, apparently. Requires a machine called the Big Oil Derrick. Okay. Good to know. And then aluminum or rocks. Sorry, aluminium. That's how it's spelled in the game. So that's how it should be said, I suppose. There's some wood. Gosh, where are the actual... Where is the nearest forest? I mean, I'm fine with picking up the dead wood, but I didn't think I would be quite this lacking. Fallen trees only give 2 units of wood. You get more from cutting down full trees. What is that? That's titanium. I guess this is nothing. Alright. It's just because it's night, I suppose. Volcanic pipe. What the heck comes out of a volcanic pipe? Kimberlite rock, apparently. And there's a uranium rock, and so many things that are relatively close by. Apparently a uranium rock exists. I'm gonna start going north, I suppose, and start making my way back. back that way. Because I'm mirrored. There's the water. So that should be huge water. There's some more dead wood. You may have noticed I'm not particularly peeved running around at pretty large distances away from the base. I'm fine with this. I'd like to be set to 200% speed to do this, or whatever. Faster character speed to do this, but yeah, leisurely stroll, I suppose. Leisurely strolls around the base, around the area around the base, hunting down actual trees. There's a whole 2 trees. Excellent. A whole 2 trees. Oh look, tar pits, more. All of the tar pits. We've got tons and tons of tar pits around the place. That is likely a very good thing. Wow. Okay. We, likely will not be trapped for dinosaurs. Oh wow, those yields, though. Those yields. Tar Extractor Mark 1. When can you be built? Oil Industry Mark 1. Machines for Oil Industry Mark 1. That would be a red tech. Machines for Oil Mark 1. That is a red tech. So we'll have access to those sooner than later. A chromium reserve. Right there. Hard to see, but it's right in there. Do I have enough wood? I'm too short. I'm a little miffed on the near enough complete lack of trees. Guess this spot has a sufficient number for now. But, gonna need a heck of a lot more than just that one mushroom building, guys. And that's gonna be needing a hell of a lot more wood. Pretty sure I cannot automate wood at the moment. I'm gonna go through this whole stream and not actually have a single tech. That is, I guess that's Pyanodons for you. This is wood processing. Here, let's do wood. Wood is made from logs. In a wood processing unit, logs are made in botanical nurseries, which requires coal processing 1. So you can make logs every 80 seconds. Just from logs, without anything else. You can add just add water and you cut 20 seconds from the time to produce the same amount of logs. If you add ash, well, then you cut the time even more. And then later on, if you add carbon dioxide, you're down to 30 seconds. If you do... Heck, this one doesn't even need water anymore. This one's wastewater and carbon dioxide. This is interesting. And then this one, ooh, fertilizer and water behind advanced electronics. That should be a lot of resources. Yep, that's a lot of resources. So, mushroom mine, or plantation, I should say. Mushroom plantation requires water. Absolutely requires water. I want this. This is the first thing that I can essentially build infinite of and should place where it's going to be placed into the future. So basically it's a spot on the bus. So I need to place it with that in mind. And I wanted to start the bus like somewhere out here, so I will place that down there, get some power out to it. And then I need pipes to get water to it. Probably want to have its own pump, offshore pump to go with it. And a bunch of belts. Some more inserters, some more poles, just lots of things in general. So I will need a non-zero amount of tech, I think, for the botanical nursery. Wherever the heck it ends up being. Yeah. A non-zero amount of tech, botan. Yeah, it's in coal processing. Duh. Okay. Can't believe I'm already thinking about the bus. And we're not even automated yet up there. Because I don't have coal going up there. The moment I send coal up there, I will be good. Anyhoozle. Grab more resources. While I wait for my handcrafting. Suppose I can also place this quartz mine crystal. Where's my power coming from? Probably easiest to do this way. Really now? That's not a good sign. All belts will be mine. I think I have a sufficient amount of copper plates. For the moment. Welcome, glass, to the party. Then there's this. I'll place it there. Really? I'm not going to use these ones at the starting base, I think. Oh, how perfect. How perfect. Say hello to the Fabogay. My mushrooms. It's mushrooms. My beautiful shrooms. Next would be coke production. Going to need gas vents. Yeah, I'll go with 2 of them for now. I don't need to pipe those mushrooms anywhere at the moment, because, or belt those mushrooms anywhere at the moment, just because I don't have any tech whatsoever. And, yeah, it would be a little bit difficult to do that. And then glass I need to make flasks. Flasks are required for the science packs. We actually need a lot of glass for these science packs. It's 2 flasks per 3 science packs, so each craft is 2 flasks, and 2 flasks, oof. That's 20 glass. 20 glass. And each glass is 10 quartz at the start of the game. But it does improve with better processes later on. Give me those. Just gonna grab shrooms. Alright, I want a destructive distillation column and more mining drills. These can all die. And I want mining drills because now we're doing actual coal processing. And the actual coal processing I want to do on its own set of mined coal. Progress is being made. The progress. And we are 3 minutes out to the end of the stream. Normally I would review what I've done today. I guess I can do that while setting up this stuff. This destructive distillation doohickey, which is freaking ginormous. It's making that because I need the stuff and the things, and for now, I'm just going to kill the things. So, what have I done today? Well, went through an incredibly long and boring burner phase to the game. That wasn't particularly fun. And it took a while to get through. I'm just going to box all the things, including the oxide, iron oxide that's produced from this. Yeah, so I set up iron production. Once we got through that big burner phase of the game, starting things off, I got my iron production up, I got my copper production up, I got tin going, I've got glass going now, I've got the mushrooms going, I've got power, I've got soil, I've got a number of things, all of which ultimately result in the ability to craft our red science. And I think it's very appropriate that the end of this stream is finally we've got red science. Finally. However, as you can see, I need wood. I need a lot of wood. Because flasks require wood. And that will be likely how the next stream begins. Next stream will be the hunt for the forest. The hunt for the nearby forests, wherever they may be. I may just cheat and find the nearest forest, but yeah. Next time, I need wood. Enough wood to produce 2 additional sets of 3 so that I have enough science to get the automation science pack. It's gonna be interesting. Now, when will I play this particular map again? Probably on Thursday. Tomorrow is the regularly scheduled Angels playthrough with Space Extension. Unless there is enough support for the actual Pyanodon playthrough to continue that more often. So let me know if you want to see Pyanodons more often than the Angels map. This has been Otaku Showboat. I will see you all tomorrow with Angels, and I'm looking forward to continuing Pyanodons on Thursday. I will see you all then. Thank you all for watching.